I know you share a lot with me on what your values are. And from that, I found these matches for you because values is everlasting.
Sarah Lockwood slipped into the business class seat of her flight to Singapore, one hand clutching her designer makeup case, its brushed gold finish gleaming under the cabin lights. Her fingers traced the faceted compact as she settled in, anticipation fluttering like silk in her chest. At 31, glamorous and goal-driven, Sarah had survived heartbreak. Her engagement ended when her fiancé revealed he didn't want children, but her hope hadn't dimmed. Beside her sat her mother, Elaine, elegant and proud, holding tight to her daughter's hand. This voyage was more than a quest for love. It was a promise to her late father, who'd instilled in her a drive to be seen and adored. Now, Sarah sought a partner overseas, someone successful, family-oriented, and resembling her celebrity crush. Elaine's approval and her presence was a shield. Inspired by Sarah's background, a business owner from Texas traveling to Singapore with her mom, steadfast in glam ideals. They landed in Singapore's humid embrace. Sarah's hair was immaculate, her makeup impeccable. The matchmaker, Dolly, extended a polite but assessing hand. "Sarah, I'm excited to help you find a match grounded in your values," Dolly began. "But we need to talk about your look." Sarah blinked. "What about my look?" "The men here tend to prefer more natural beauty," Dolly said gently. "I wonder, are you ready to un-glam for your dates?" Sarah froze. Her mom offered a supportive smile. "No," Sarah said, breath steady. Then, in a soft laugh, "I always pretty much do my makeup the same. Unless it's nighttime, then full glam." Dolly hesitated. "My concern is that if you don't tone it down, they might judge a book by its cover." Elaine leaned forward. "That's so true. You must be open, vulnerable," she urged. Sarah nodded firmly and gracefully. Her mascara flickers like sharp wings. She refused to let go of her shine, not if it meant not being herself. Their first date, a sleek rooftop bar overlooking the skyline. Sarah glided in, shimmering in stiletto heels and a cocktail dress that caught every strand of light. Her match, Ethan, greeted her with admiration tinged with surprise. The chemistry started strong. He admired her polish and confidence. He asked about her shop, jewelry and accessories, crafted with fearless flair. She lit up, describing her business, her dreams for children, and her late father's guiding wisdom. But as the conversation dipped into his life, career steps, ambitions, Ethan's tone grew cautious. He worked in finance but kept details vague. When Sarah probed about long-term goals, his answers felt empty. They watched the city lights reflected in each other's eyes. But a quiet question lingered behind Sarah's sparkle. Was he as grounded as she needed? Dolly's words from earlier echoed in Sarah's mind. "Values are everlasting, looks will fade." She replayed her refusal to soften herself for Singaporean standards. Was she too rigid? Too polished to be real? Elaine noticed Sarah's pensive silence one evening. "You're thinking too much," she offered. "But maybe think of it this way. Being glamorous doesn't mean you aren't authentic. You are, beautifully." Encouraged, Sarah resolved. She would remain true, but she would also let her guard soften. The next date took them to a night market. String lanterns, sticky desserts, unfamiliar spices mingling in the warm air. Sarah wore elegant but weatherproof makeup, still glamorous but less sculpted. Ethan was more relaxed. He laughed, asked questions, shared childhood stories of his overseas upbringing. They shared fish cake and tea, a low-pressure intimacy. Sarah found herself leaning into laughter, not just the look. Her heart felt lighter. Back at the hotel, Elaine beamed. "See, you don't need to change. You just needed a different angle." But old habits die hard. On the third date, an outdoor stroll by the Botanic Gardens, Sarah's glam resurfaced. High heels, flawless contouring, every eyelash perfect. Ethan noticed. "Sarah," he said quietly, "you're beautiful, but I miss seeing you. Not just the shine." Her heart fluttered, not from offense but from truth. She realized then that glam had become armor. That night, she sat in her suite, staring at her reflection. The makeup case lay unopened. She thought of how her fiancé left, his words still haunting. She thought about her father's advice. Always be seen, but let people see your soul too. The next day it rained softly. Sarah met Ethan with simple elegance. Natural look, minimal makeup, raincoat over a casual dress. Elaine offered a knowing nod before they parted. Their date was unplanned. A quiet cafe, folk music playing, candid conversation. Sarah talked about her father, her grief, her work's creative spark. Ethan shared ambitions, sincerity brimming in his words. She clasped his hand, not out of performance but presence. As they parted, he kissed her temple. No spotlight, just warmth. Back at the villa, Elaine embraced her. "You didn't unglam," she said, "but you glamoured with truth." Sarah nodded, tears glistening more naturally than any highlighter. Identity and authenticity needn't conflict. She had found a balance. That evening, Dolly and Elaine toasted her. Dolly smiled. "Your values rang through. True beauty shines with vulnerability." They flew back home differently. Not changed but enriched. Sarah's signature glam remained. But now it was layered with honesty, softness, and local candor she'd once feared to risk. In the tapestry of connection spun abroad, she learned that refusing to compromise your shine doesn't mean you can't let in light.